Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button if you guys are enjoying the content that we're throwing up, and make sure you guys hit the like button if you enjoy the video. And yeah, let's begin. What's going on, guys? This is Rob, and we are back again with another what if story, this time answering the question, what if the Immortal Hulk got Adamantium? And as part of that, I think the first question we have to answer is, how did the Hulk come to get Adamantium? So the impetus of this story is the revival of the Weapons Plus program, the clandestine organization that was responsible for the creation of a number of Marvel superheroes and villains, most famously Wolverine, Deadpool, and Captain America. And what we learn is that the program has been revived by a group who we never see, but is only alluded to, and his goal is the creation of a living weapon that's capable of causing as much destruction as possible. And that's all we know about the project up front. Now, naturally, those running the project focus on the Hulk as the best candidate for this particular situation, as he's already the best in the world at smashing things, and he'll be made even better at it by the enhancements they plan on making. Now, knowing that bringing the Hulk in against his will would be close to impossible, Weapons Plus sends agents to abduct Bruce Banner in his sleep, injecting him with a tranquilizer to prevent him from turning into the Hulk and then killing them all before they get him back to the facility. Now, once they're back, they place Bruce in an induced coma while they place neural manipulation chips in his brain so they can control his thoughts and emotions, meaning that not only can they tell him what to do, but they can artificially increase his anger level, which will result in the Hulk getting stronger and stronger. And so Bruce is woken up and the neural chips are tested by increasing his anger level and triggering his transformation into the Hulk. Now, once Bruce is in his Hulk form, his handlers use the neural implants to render him unconscious while remaining hulked out. Then, they replicate the same process that they had previously used to bond adamantium to Wolverine's skeleton on the Hulk, and just for good measure, they throw in some adamantium claws as well. And so at the end of the process, they deliver to this mysterious entity that they've contracted with a Hulk with an adamantium skeleton and claws that can be remotely controlled. So it's kind of like Weapon H, except not crappy. And so the next time that we get to see the Hulk, he's just absolutely demolishing a city. His teammates on the Avengers come and try to take him down, and because of the neural implants, he's not responsive to them at all. He's just in an all-out rage and getting madder by the second. Now, when the Avengers realize that there's no reasoning with him, they try and subdue him, which is nearly impossible under normal circumstances, but is made even more difficult as the Hulk becomes more and more enraged. And so when Thor is hit by one of the Hulk's punches, he remarks at how much more painful it was than normal. And immediately, the rest of the Avengers know something's not right about this situation. Their assumption is validated when the Hulk pops his claws for the first time in battle, and much to their horror, one of them ends up impaling Black Panther, cutting right through his vibranium suit and killing him. Now, at this point, the Avengers are scrambling for a new plan, right? Because none of them want to share the same fate. Thor remains engaged in battle with the Hulk, and he's able to deal the most damage to him, and can also do so while staying out of range of the Hulk's adamantium claws. Meanwhile, the rest of the Avengers try and formulate a plan to negate the Hulk's recent upgrade. And so just a little bit about adamantium, it's considered to be the hardest metal in the Marvel universe outside of Thor's hammer, and is able to cut through basically anything other than adamantium and Captain America's shield that's made up of alloy adamantium and vibranium. Unfortunately, none of these things are especially helpful at this moment for the Avengers. They have Cap's shield and Thor's hammer, sure, but Cap's shield is like 2.5 feet in diameter, right? So it's not really going to offer much protection from the Hulk's massive claws. And Thor's hammer is also not very big and can only be lifted by one of them. And so the best thing they could do would be to make some armor out of adamantium, but they don't have time for that. And it's not like they're going to just have piles of adamantium on hand or a way to melt it down. It's a difficult process, and once adamantium hardens, it can't be melted anyway. They also don't have time to travel to Asgard and get some dwarves to forge new Uru weapons, so they're going to have to basically make do with what they have. Now, Tony Stark summons his Hulkbuster armor, which is exceedingly durable, but it's not going to hold up to the Immortal Hulk's adamantium claws for very long. Captain America does his best to distract the Hulk and let Thor and Iron Man land as many blows as possible, but it becomes clear that this is ultimately an exercise in futility, and they will eventually fall to the Hulk in battle. And so they put out a call for reinforcements, but Captain Marvel is off-world battling some cosmic threat or something like that. Who knows? Who cares? The Fantastic Four is in Latveria dealing with Doctor Doom. Now, just when all seems lost, some unexpected help arrives in the form of the X-Men. Lately, the X-Men have been singularly focused on building the nation of Krakoa into a world power, and so it seems odd for them to show up and help the Avengers to save an American city. But here they are nonetheless. Now, rather than the X-Men running in as a team, Magneto steps forward and lifts the Hulk off the ground and begins ripping the adamantium out of him. And we get this crazy visual of adamantium coming through Hulk's pores as Magneto stands over him. Now, once the adamantium is removed, Charles Xavier enters the Hulk's mind and amplifies his healing factor to the point that he's able to reject the neural implant that Weapons Plus had placed in his brain, and is able to calm the Hulk down to the point that he reverts back to being Bruce Banner. He then probes the Hulk's subconscious launches to find out where the Weapons Plus facility is, and then sends a strike team led by Wolverine to destroy it. And so while in the facility, Wolverine finds a document that detailed the agreement between Weapons Plus and the mysterious benefactors to bring the Hulk in for enhancement. He doesn't recognize either of these names, but pockets the document anyway. Now, while it seems that everything has been wrapped up nicely and the whole crisis has been averted, we cut to a scene on Krakoa after everything has calmed down, and the only two people in the room where the Mutant Council usually meet are Xavier and Magneto. And we learn from their conversation that the mysterious individuals that had resurrected the Weapons Plus project was none other than Magneto and Xavier themselves, and they had done so to create an event that would allow the X-Men to be seen as heroes that saved the world from the rampaging Hulk when the other heroes of the Earth were completely unable to stop him. And so we also learn that they had done this without the approval of the Council, and they had kept it from the rest of the X-Men using false names to sign all the contracts with Weapons Plus and sending a team to destroy the facility to cover their tracks. But before the story comes to a close, we see a conversation between Wolverine, Jean Grey, and Cyclops, who, as you may or may not know, all live together now, and so they're obviously pretty close. Now, Wolverine pulls out the paper with the signatures of people that none of them have ever heard of. Scott and Jean look at him, visibly confused, and so Cyclops would ask, "Are these names supposed to mean something to us?" And Wolverine would reply, "No, but the sense I'm picking up from the paper should." And that's where I would end the story, with it being obvious that Wolverine knows that Xavier and Magneto were involved and kept the X-Men in the dark, which is definitely going to sow the seeds of distrust among the X-Men and lead to some big time drama after he reveals it to his teammates. But with that being said, guys, we're gonna bring this video to an end. If you are new here to Comics Explained, make sure you guys hit the sub button to become part of the Rob Corps. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like. Now we'll catch you all later. Peace.